And a good Saturday morning to you. Welcome once again to Health Matters with Dr. Jim Warner of Warner Chiropractic, located at 4855 East State Street in Rockford, Illinois. And today, Dr. Jim is going to supplement your knowledge about nutrition, right?
Hey, very good, Fred. Yes, we are going to talk about nutrition and supplementation.
And I know I take a few supplements, but I don't know if vitamins are considered supplements.
Well, vitamins are considered supplements, and anything, just take the word supplement, anything that supplements your diet.
So it's an addition.
In addition to. Now, let me ask you the question, Fred. Why do you think we would need something in addition to? Or why would we need to supplement?
Well, because our regular diet may be lacking in some of the nutrients that we need.
There you go. Excellent. Yes, our diets aren't as good as they should be, or maybe as they were in the past. Some people believe that in the past the food was a lot better. That's one thing. The other thing is, Fred, that everybody is different. And so what is good for you, or the amount of a certain substance that might be good for you, might not be what my body needs.
Right. So that begs the question, well, how do you know what you need to be taking in addition to your regular diet?
Yeah, and that's what we're going to be talking today about, is how do you know what to take? Because there are a lot of vitamin supplements out there that are available to people, and there are one-a-day brands, and some say, well, that's not good, and some would say, well, my brand of vitamins is the best one, and so, and mine is the most natural, and you hear so many different claims out there, and we're going to try to cut through some of that today and just talk about why you need to take supplements.
And I know one of the important things is whatever you do decide that you need to get something that will absorb into your system.
There you go. I think that's very important, because maybe a certain supplement, let's take, for instance, people need to take calcium. That's very important. And especially ladies need to take calcium. And you see that on TV, and you see different products being offered and such. And let me tell you, Fred, there's a lot of error that's out there, especially, well, let's just take, for instance, since we're talking about calcium here, and this is not actually nutrition or a supplement, but you see different drugs being offered to take this tablet once a month, and that's going to give you strong bones.
Well, you're probably referring to a product like Boniva.
Yes, and you'll even have someone from Hollywood saying, I take this once a month, and it gives me strong bones. And how much calcium do you think is in that tablet, Fred?
Zero.
Zero. Well, now that doesn't make any sense. How can it be that something has zero calcium? How can that make your bones strong?
Good question.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, and I think everybody listening, that every woman that's taken this drug should think about this. There's no calcium in there. And so what it does, it changes your body's physiology so that, let's say, when you're looking at your bone structure, there's basically two types of cells. There's the bone cell that grows the bone. That's called an osteoblast. And then there's the cell that tears down the bone, and that's called the osteoclast. Those are the two types of bone cells. And the Boniva, or the drug that they use to give you strong bones, Fred, basically what that does, it inhibits the osteoclast, or the bone cell that tears down the bone. It stops that cell from working. So what that does is the normal tearing down process is being hindered, and so old bone stays in there that starts getting brittle and such. Oh, yeah, there's more calcium there because it's not cleaning out the dead bone.
But there's no renewable process.
There's no renewable, so just the old dead bone stays there, and eventually 3 years, 4, 5 years down the line, people will have lots of problems. Jaw rot is one of them, and you can ask your dentist about this. The jawbone starts rotting, doesn't hold the teeth anymore, and people start losing all their teeth. Fractures. People are walking, and then their leg fractures. Their ribs fracture. Their spinal bones fracture, and it's because there's no calcium in this drug. and it's causing health problems of a huge magnitude. But it happens 4 or 5 years down the line. So if anybody's taking that drug, man, you need to get off of that drug and start getting a type of calcium that is absorbed by your body.
Right. I know that vitamin D helps you to absorb calcium.
Vitamin D is very helpful and necessary, but a lot of people are doing what their doctor says, and whatever their doctor is, I won't say what kind of doctor that person might be, but if they're telling them, well, you need to take Tums. Tums is high in calcium, so take Tums. Believe me, if you're taking Tums, it's passing right through your system, and it's actually pulling calcium out of your bones, and you're not absorbing any. And let me say it again, you're not absorbing any of the calcium that's in Tums.
And, of course, it's not misleading in the sense that there is calcium there, but because of the formulation, your body does not absorb it.
Yeah, so that's an instance where people are maybe taking a substance in, but it's going right through their system,
right,
and they're not absorbing it. So just because it's high in calcium does not mean that it's good.
So what do you recommend?
Okay, well, that's where we have to decide, Fred. And one way we do it in our office is we check through x-rays. We do certain procedures in the office to see what type of calcium supplement works best. But usually you want a calcium supplement that has acid mixed with the supplement. In other words, if you look on your supplement, if there's acid mixed in there, then it's probably an absorbable form of calcium. If there's no acid mixed in there, it probably goes right through your system.
I know we take a Coral calcium formula, and it's very absorbable, and I've done the research on it, and I'm happy with it.
There should be stomach acid mixed with that, because calcium is only absorbed in an acid environment. Now, most people, as they get older, senior citizens, their stomach makes less and less acid, stomach acid. Or some people, maybe they're taking antacids, or they're taking Prilosec, or they're taking all these drugs because they want to neutralize the acid in the stomach, which is a bad thing to do because it stops the absorption of calcium.
Right.
So anybody that's taking some of these drugs, they're actually hurting their body because they're not absorbing calcium. Among other things, they're not absorbing their protein like they should. The protein's not being broken down. The calcium, there's vitamins aren't being absorbed. It's a bad thing that people are getting into by taking over-the-counter medication and some script medication, because it interferes with your body's ability to obtain nutrition, even if you're having a good diet.
Right.
You might be eating wonderfully well, all organic foods and such, and they're passing through your system, very little getting absorbed because of interference with the normal mechanism.
So whatever supplement you take, you want to make sure it's in absorbable form, and also stop doing things that keep you from absorbing it.
Yes, absolutely. And we're going to be talking about that in future weeks on how to determine what supplement is what you need.
Now, I know you have information at Warner Chiropractic to help
Yes,
people.
one of the things that we'd like to offer listeners, Fred, listeners of WFEN, is a symptom survey form. And they can contact our office and obtain this survey form. We'd be glad to send it to them. And then they can fill out this, and this will tell the person if you're having problems, symptoms that may be from a nutritional deficiency, either because you're not getting enough of the supplement or the vitamin, mineral that you need, or because your body's not absorbing it.
So it's a good idea to take a look at your own personal needs rather than just popping a one a day and hoping it meets the need.
Absolutely. With this survey that we have, Fred, there are over 200 questions that ask you specific things that relate to your nutritional income of food stuff. So very important that people find out what they're taking and if it's actually working.
All right, that's very important stuff, and I know that you not only are available by phone, but also on the web.
We are at www.warnerchiro.com.
And people can get information there, plus they can contact you.
They can call us at 815-398-8111 and ask for the symptom survey form, and we'd be glad to send it to them.
All right. Dr. Jim Warner, today the doctor was in, and he's in with a lot of information for you as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and have a wonderful day.
And that'll do it today on Health Matters.